you've come to change my mind.
Why is a blood transfusion wrong?
Why is anything wrong? Torture, lying, being unfaithful in your marriage.
What is the point of your silence?
And welcome to your London premiere for the Children Act. How does this feel?
It's exciting. It's really nice.
I love that you guys all look really quite dramatic. Everyone's wearing the suits. It was a lovely moment of seeing you all walking up together. You can naturally see how well you all get along. What was the chat like beforehand, before the premiere? Did you all get a chance to catch up, have tea?
Well, I see a lot of Duncan. I see a lot of Ian, who lives near me, and I'm in touch with Emma a lot of the time. I haven't seen Finn for a long time, and Finn's been busy, and he looks wonderful.
I noticed he grabbed your hand to get your attention before.
He's the most lovely, I was going to say boy, but he's a young man. He's 21 now.
Can we start by talking about him? Really awesome that he would take on a role like this. How was he on set?
He was very self-possessed. He's very intelligent. He gives the appearance of great assurance, although obviously he was very nervous. But Emma was wonderful at helping him and giving him confidence. But he's a remarkable young man.
And let's talk about Emma. I love her. I think she's a badass. For us women, we look up to her. I want to be 10% of the woman she is. Is she how she seems?
Yeah, she is. That's what you see is what you get. I mean, she is honest, she's compassionate, she's very intelligent, she's very witty, and she's just a remarkable person.
Fee, talk to me.
This young man thought I could answer all his questions, but he's dying.
I think it's a really exciting but also very thought-provoking film, and a lot of people are going to have conversations around this because we're having these conversations already. The timing seems perfect. It's such a difficult conversation to have because there's no right or wrong.
There is no right and wrong, and that's what fascinates me. In the same way as there's no right and wrong about their relationship. Yes, you can say one person behaved badly, other person behaved badly, or callously, and in the same way as the judicial decision. I mean, they believe passionately, the family, in what they believe in. I believe they're wrong, but I try and present all sides of the question as fairly and humanely as possible.
People think you've been influenced by your parents. Somehow I've got to decide. The child's welfare shall be the court's paramount consideration. Life is more precious than dignity.
The final thing I'd like to ask you is Stanley and Emma. He said he had a crush on her.
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Do I have a crush?
You must have a crush too, Mike. Everyone crush on Emma.
I've known Emma since she was maybe 20, 21. I've always had a crush on Emma. Yeah.
Do you remember how we were? Don't you miss that?
Hi, Anthony, lovely to meet you. We were just talking about flicking hair as you came over to flip your wig, and you insisted on sharing that this is not a
wig. So I can't flip my wig. I can flip my hair, but I can't flip my wig.
Do you know where flip your wig comes from? It's like an old saying, be wild, be free, do what the hell you want to do.
Oh, right, okay.
So it actually has nothing to do with wigs.
Okay, well.
Are you wild? Are you free? Do you do what the hell you want?
Well, I like to do whatever I can with my hair, yes. I can do extraordinary things with my hair, I can assure you that.
What's it like having someone like Emma on set?
She's a fantastic leader. I mean, she's incredibly focused and professional when doing the work, and incredibly friendly and generous when not. I think she includes everybody. She makes it very much an ensemble, although she's very much carrying the movie. But she understands how important it is for everybody to feel comfortable, and she sure as hell makes everybody comfortable and makes everybody feel that what we're making is a very important movie.
And Finn, little star, love him. Really excited to talk to him today. What was he like?
Well, Finn I didn't have anything to do with, I'm afraid. But however, I obviously met him through the course of doing the film and afterwards, and he's just a delightful boy. And you know, when we did this, it was 2 years ago. He was 19 years old, very open, very free, very flip your wig.
Flip your wig.
Yeah.
The boy and his parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's contrary to their faith to accept blood into their system.
I'd always been a huge fan of or admirer and also fan of Ian McEwan's work. So to be given the opportunity to read a book before it's published was something, and then I just really responded to it. I thought it had an amazing central role. I could see Emma Thompson in it right from the start.
Would you straight away?
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much. You know, she is, if not one of, maybe one of our greatest actresses.
She's the greatest.
She is
the
possibly the greatest actress in the world. Actually, you heard it here first.
I just high-fived that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Meryl Streep, Eat Your Heart Out.
Yeah, eat your heart out, Meryl.
And so, fantastic role. In fact, that's what is the major selling point of the film to an audience, I think, that they see Emma doing the things that we always loved her in Howard's End and The Remains of the Day, and for the last 20 years she's not really been that person. All of that intelligence that comes to bear, and I produced Love Actually, and possibly her
beautiful
most
film.
Famous scene now is crying in the bedroom, or not quite crying in the bedroom.
It was on
and
TV
I cornered the market.
I think
scenes of Emma not quite crying in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because she does that here. Spoiler alert. She does that in this film as well.
Why do you keep getting her cheated on? Why? Stop getting her cheated on, though, please.
Yeah. No, well, interesting.
Interesting indeed. That's the thing as well with the film. It's got two different stories going on. There's the one where her marriage is sort of breaking up,
crumbling,
while she's saving somebody else.
Yes, and in some ways, there's right or wrong on both sides. You don't like him because he says, I'm going to cheat on you. Yeah. But then he's telling her that, hoping for a reaction. Her reaction is she takes the phone call. Yeah. And so she's sort of made her choice in some ways. And you could view it as the moral education of Emma's character. Yeah. That somehow she learns that actually you have duties as in your marriage as well. And also she's being very, very judge-like in her relation to the boy, but in some ways, again, she needs to be a bit more human. She forces him to live against his wishes, and then she withholds her friendship.
Oh my God, you're so good at the way you tease everything. I love it.
So there are all sorts of issues. I mean, it's a very simple story, and yet, the questions are complicated.
And the final thing, that man standing next to you over there with a good head full of hair.
Look at that man. Look at that. Richard Eyre said he looks like someone from a boy band.
I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah. Like it's from One Direction. What was it like having him a part of the movie? Because he's a young new star. He was great in Dunkirk, and this is a really big role for him.
Yeah, no, he's fabulous. We met him before he'd made Dunkirk, and we videoed him in my apartment, in fact, and he just sat there. He didn't know the words. He just spoke to the camera and read the script and then spoke the words. He was just completely beguiling and real. That's the thing. And the other thing we saw after we met him, he was the first person we met. Yep. We saw 12 other boys, but he was the only one that was sort of boy and man at the same time, which this role really required.
Yeah, it was
so when I was just about to give a real spoiler there. Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
But yeah, he's not bad.
It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Are we swapping over? What were we just saying about his hair?
You look like a boy band man.
I look like a boy band man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Duncan.
Which is a great compliment.
As per usual.
It is a compliment.
Such a way with words.
He was saying it in a nice way.
You look like a star. Yeah.
Yeah.
But personally, I wish the earring was in the other ear.
I've got so many questions for you.
I think you brought me close to something. My delicious adventure.
Hey, listen, they're all shouting your name behind you. Get used to this.
I think so. I mean, this is quite a particular thing, isn't it, being at a premiere like this? I don't think it's something you really... This is not like,
It was weird, because I know everyone's like, oh my God, he's tipped for big things, but he's still relatively new, so there must be a part of him that thinks this is a little bit insane. And you have been quite private, and you haven't been running around to every red carpet, which I think is kind of refreshing.
Thank you.
Deliberate? Is it kind of like, just want to be known for my work?
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. I love acting, and I really want people to go and see the things I'm in, and love to be able to reach out to people in that way and people to appreciate my work. In terms of private life, I do just, I think you're bang on. You kind of answered your own question.
Can I just say, everyone is raving about you. Richard, firstly, thinks you're like the best.
So kind.
everybody, Duncan, same thing, and everyone's just saying like he's the real deal. How does that feel from people that have been in the industry a lot longer than you?
It's so kind, it's so flattering. I feel unbelievably lucky to have been able to work with these people in the first place. So the compliments are, they're amazing.
Can we talk about the film? Wow, what a role.
Adam has leukemia. However, the boy and his parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's contrary to their faith to accept blood into their system.
I would like to hear from Adam himself.
So you've come to change my mind.
This role was great, it was really, really interesting to do, and I love to explore the character. It's such an interesting, complex story, so
I'm working alongside Emma.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Adam, remember all of life and love.
The weight of responsibility is so great, and she has to defend herself somewhere against all the projections. There is, of course, you're intelligent enough to know that you're not responsible for people. You are making a decision, but nonetheless, you're only human, and you can see how people are suffering. And then you step away from that high place where you are, step away from that place of omniscience and omnipotence, and you come down to the grassroots of your own relationships. And I kind of understand that she can't quite hear him. In the same way as later, when Finn's character Adam comes to her, she can't quite hear him either. So, but I think that she learns so much, and you see that at the end of the film, she's learned, and she'll be different.
My lady, they're ready for you.
What, rise?
Fee, shall we talk?
Excuse me, long day.
I mean, in real life, you give so much. You're a kick-ass woman, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Your latest campaign with Greenpeace, you give, you make time for films, and you always make time for people. I saw you go to the fans first, which was lovely to see. How do you manage to, like your character, almost learn to give yourself some time amongst everything that you do?
By just taking a lot of time off. And not giving. I was going to say being massively selfish at home, but no, actually, make sure you don't do it all the time. If you come out and do something like this, you must be available to you guys who've been standing out here, and we want to give as much intelligent exchange as we can have, because this is very important, and you're helping us with a film that otherwise would disappear, as Bill Bailey would say, like a strand of saffron in the vindaloo of Marvel. And I think that with independent films now, it's even more important to give this kind of presentation and say, we really believe in this film, we made it with all our hearts, and it's an important subject. So you're helping us with that, you're part of that journey. Thank you.
For being you, we love you, you rock. You absolutely rock.